What we'll talk about today is something that will be very important to the people who are planning to move or stay in the Philippines. If you're there temporarily, this will not be as important, and this has something to do with internet access. There are several providers of internet access. Which one should you get? Obviously, if you're just visiting the Philippines, you'll just go to Starbucks maybe and use the internet access there. But if you have your own home, your own condo, your own house, you'll have to get internet access. And that is what we're going to talk about today. Hello, magandang umaga po. Before we begin, thank you so much to all the subscribers who helped me achieve my current subscription level. If you have not subscribed yet, I'll ask you to please subscribe now, and don't forget to hit the notification bell down below so that you will be notified timely of my future videos. And please share this video with your friends who may find this video helpful. By the way, I will appreciate your comments down below also. And thank you again for your support on my channel. Now let's move on. Internet access is becoming very important in today's environment, sometimes even more important than television network. The thing you have to think about is how many service providers are there, how much do they cost, and how good are they? So the first segment that we're going to talk about is the I would say the highest or the fastest service provider, like 100 megabits per second, and what is the slowest. Obviously, there is a service available or plan available for somewhere in between. So you just have to look at that. But for now, I just want to show you what is the slowest that they provide and what is the fastest that they provide and the associated cost with it. Now, there are major internet providers, and that's the first thing we're going to talk about, and that will be followed by the commentary on each of the providers so you know what is good, what is bad for each of major internet providers. There are 5 major internet service providers in the Philippines, namely Pldt, Globe, Converge ICT, Sky Cable, and Eastern Communication. We're going to review what their slowest available speed is and what the fastest available speed that they have, and then we'll follow it up with comment regarding these 5 individual internet service providers. First one is Pldt, that charges approximately $60 per month on a 100 megabit per second, and the slowest they have is about $24 per month at 3 megabits per second. Then we have Globe that charges about the same for the fastest available and charges $16.99 pesos. That's about $32 per month on a 5 megabit speed. Then we have Converge ICT, which is a little bit more expensive. For 100 megabit per second, they charge approximately $70 or 3,500 pesos, and about $30 or 1,500 pesos for a 25 megabit per second. However, this is very competitive compared to these 2, Pldt and Globe, for the 25 megabit per second speed. Then we have Sky Cable that is pretty expensive, about $80 per month for 64 megabit per second compared to the 100 megabit per second that they're selling at Pldt, Globe, and even Converge ICT. And their slowest available is 8 megabits per second at about 1,600 pesos per month, or that's about $32 a month. Then we have Eastern, which is very reasonable but very slow. The slowest is 4 megabits per second. That's the slowest among the bunch. Oh, I'm sorry. Pldt also has 3 megabits per second,
And their price on a 10 megabit is $17.95.
Now let's go through the comments for each of the provider. Each one is very important, sometimes more important than the price itself. And depending on what your requirement is, do you need really fast speed, or could you live with the slower speed but cheaper cost? That would be up to you. So here goes.
Let's take a look at the comment for each of these individual service providers. Let's start with Pldt. Though there has been some negative feedback to this ISP due to spotty connections, it's still one of the best and largest ISPs in the Philippines right now. Uses fiber optics, has a spotty connection during occasional outages. The fiber connection may be subject to availability, charges 119 pesos per month extra for modem and installation, except for the fastest speed. So if you get the fastest speed of 100 megabits, there is no charge. Okay, but for anything lower than this speed, there's another 190. That's about $2 a month extra, and I believe that's based on a 36-month commitment. Globe, on the other hand, the internet service that Globe provides is not even half bad. Not available everywhere, though they have a very large coverage in the Metro Manila area. Globe Broadband is undoubtedly one of the best ISPs in the Philippines right now, no data cap. Then that's followed by Converge ICT, which is a little bit more expensive at 3,500 pesos a month for a 100 megabit per second. And but they do have a nice, the slowest they have is 25 megabits per second, which is only 1,500, and that's even cheaper than Globe and Pldt, and they're offering 25 megabits per second. So on the low end, I think this is pretty good, but on the high end, it's pretty expensive. One Rising Star, it's very affordable, and there's no data cap. The price for FiberX, and I don't know how that differs from fiber optics, they call it FiberX, to be little steep. Since Converge is a newcomer to the residential internet, it's going to be difficult to get connection with them. Charges 2,500 pesos installation fee. If you amortize that over 24 months, you're looking at about 100 pesos extra per month, or you're talking about $2 extra on top of this 1,500. Still not bad. Now that's followed by Sky Cable. Being primarily a cable TV company, the TV services are usually bundled up with their broadband internet service. Okay. If you've got a growing family, it's one of the safest choices for a provider. You get fiber-powered unlimited internet service, and you also get HD cable TV. Indicated speeds are download speed. Upload speed is usually slower. That's my commentary here. They specifically said that the indicated speed are download speed because in the case of cable TV, the upload speed is usually slower than much slower than the download speed. But if you're not uploading anything, this is pretty good. Now, if you're like me who uploads videos on YouTube, then this is going to be much slower. Now, that's cable. Now, they say you get fiber powered. I don't know what that means. Either you have fiber optics or you have cable, but this one talks about fiber powered, so I don't really know what that means. But again, this is fairly expensive on the high end, but fairly reasonable. No, I should not say fairly reasonable, but you have to watch out for the upload speed. I was thinking of Convergence ICT. Well, it is expensive on the high end, but fairly reasonable on the medium. I'll call this the medium because some of them are 5 and 3, okay? So that's Sky Cable. Now let's go to Eastern Communication. Eastern Communication is tailored to fit the Filipino masses. If you sign up for Evolec Air at 100 peso more per month, that's $2 more per month, you not only get a good internet service, you also get a landline telephone service. Evo Air is known for having a very stable connection. So this is going to be the cheapest on the low end, and this is going to be more expensive, and each one is better than the other. I will probably opt for Pldt or Maybe I will try the 25 megabits per second for 1,500 pesos at Converge ICT. I will look into this, and I will also look into this. I also heard some complaints, I believe it was about Pldt, about a failure. They were very upset. I don't know if that's already fixed. I understand they had a catastrophe, like underwater installation was damaged, and the service was extremely spotty. So hopefully they got that fixed. So it's probably going to be either Pldt or Converge ICT. Okay? So there you have it.
Now, the other thing that we'll have to think about is what are the other terms of the contract? Is there a contract involved? What is the term? And this is something I will see when I arrive in the Philippines. I can't seem to get enough information on the internet to draw a conclusion as to which one is good, which one is best, which one is worst among all the service providers. So that I will have to probably learn when I get to the Philippines. The other issue, of course, is how about cable TV service? There's only one provider here that bundles up internet service and cable TV. But what if for example, if I want to use PLDT, do they also include cable TV, or is it a separate package? What is available? I have not explored that yet, and that will remain to be seen when I get to the Philippines. Now, some of you may prefer 100 megabits per second. Some of you may be happy with 25 megabits per second, or even slower than that. But let me explain the two basic differences in the US, and I think the same will hold true in the Philippines. You have what they call cable system, and you have what they call Fios. When I got my system, there was no Fios yet, but I switched from telephone system. I was not too happy with the service, so I switched to cable, and I was extremely happy with the cable. They have less downtime and quick service when it comes to servicing me. It's Verizon. I was using Verizon. So now, today, they came up with Verizon Fios. Okay, well, I decided not to change because I'm already happy with the cable system that I have. But now, here's the basic difference between the two. In the case of cable, usually what they advertise as the speed of the access in terms of megabits per second is the download speed. So if you're not uploading anything on YouTube, for example, the download speed is what's important to you most of the time. Download, download, download. Now, if you are uploading something, usually on the cable system, the upload speed is very slow compared to the download speed. Now, in the case of Fios, now again, I have not had any experience on using Fios, but I understand Fios does not make any difference. Also, in the cable system, depending on the time of the day, you may not achieve what they advertise as the speed of the system because there are many, many, many users. Especially, for example, at night when everybody gets off work, then the traffic becomes heavy and you don't achieve that speed that they advertise. But during the slow time of the day, you can achieve it. That's on cable. Now on Fios, I understand the line is not being shared with anyone, so regardless of what time it is, it's supposed to be faster. That remains to be seen because I never use Fios here in the United States. All right? So those are the items to be considered. And now let's do a test of my cable system here in the US so that you can see what kind of speed I am achieving. There you have it. As you can see, the upload speed is 47.5 megabits per second on the download, but when it comes to upload, it's only 5.8 megabits. By the way, I have a 100 megabit per second service, and yet look, I'm only achieving 47.5 this morning. I wonder what it will be tonight. Maybe it'll be faster, maybe it will be slower, but you cannot expect that it's going to be exactly that. Sometimes it's significantly lower. So that's another thing that I don't know about what these companies in the Philippines are doing. Are they really delivering that kind of speed access? Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it helps you. And please do subscribe. I will appreciate it.